the Anxious Hipster. So he comes up to me at the bar. "Hey man," he says. I turn to him and take him in, all earnest face and persimmon hair, clipped tonight into a mohawk and sculpted painstakingly into stegosaurian plates. That's my friend, the Anxious Hipster. Our primary connection is the acquaintance of a wild waif named Casey, who paints a red streak through this town every few months and then splits for New Orleans until she comes back and does it again. I know her from back in the day, though it's been a while since I've had the pleasure. And I haven't seen the Anxious Hipster in a few seasons either, so we spend a few minutes catching up there at the bar. Doing great, he gushes with characteristic gusto, loves the job, loves the scene. He's quite drunk, the Anxious Hipster is, but he's more calm and focused than usual. Been kind of lying low lately, he tells me, busy with work and all. And hey man, remember that funny story you wrote that time? That one about swimming in Greensboro? You remember that? I surely do, I say. I'll never forget the day last June when Eric Bierbauer, who may or may not be in this room right now, Greensboro's eminent mouthpiece for the arts, called my newspaper office in a red rage, venting about vandals, skate kids, or graffiti writers most likely, but definitely some species of disrespectful punk who had one mild summer night on downtown Greensboro's main thoroughfare scaled the iron gate that shields Bierbauer's River, the smallest body of water in town, from the action on the street. This river is actually a water sculpture that Bierbauer created. It runs down an alley through a series of descending concrete ducts that swivel with the weight of the water. And it ends in a collecting pool just below ground level. The common wisdom at the time was that a skateboarder, unaware of the details of the fountain's construction, hiked to the top and let fly, cruising until the third segment gave under his weight. There would be justice, Bierbauer assured me, whether as a result of a flyer campaign offering a $250 reward for the capture of this person, or perhaps a reckoning meted out by the laws of physics. That's an 18-foot fall, Bierbauer said to me. The first thing I did was look to the collecting pool to see if there was a body down there. So the tale has become something of an urban legend among the city's night people, retold by club hoppers on the sidewalks and discussed over tiny coffee shop tables and in dusty art studios. And a week later, in my newspaper, we named Bierbauer's River the worst place in Greensboro to go swimming. That was pretty funny, the Anxious Hipster said to me, and it was, I agree, pretty funny. In fact, I said, I was just standing by that fountain today, and I told that story. And the Anxious Hipster goes quiet for a minute. You know that was me, don't you? Huh, that was you? Yeah, he said. Well, I heard the guy broke both his legs. Pretty much, he said. I shattered my heel and I fractured the other one. I still walk with a limp. And I have this rare moment of speechlessness. And then I say the first thing that comes to my mind. The fuck you thinking, man? I said, I don't know, he says, I just kind of wanted to go up there. It was like a parkour accident. After the fall, it took 4 or 5 guys to get him over the gate, he said. And then he went home, only to wake with both his ankles swollen like overripe eggplants. He got a ride to Moses Cone Hospital, the same hospital where he was born, and began the road to recuperation, which included time in a wheelchair and, of course, legal accountability. Yeah, he told me there's still some criminal stuff going on. But it's funny the way things play out. The Anxious Hipster's tumble down Beer Bowers River put him out of action for months. He had been waiting tables at the time, but switched to kitchen detail to ease the strain on his busted up feet, and he found that he kind of liked it back there. And today, just over a year later, he's the managing chef here at the restaurant and eagerly studying the nuances of the culinary arts. It was, he says, one of the best things that's ever happened to me. But it was not without his drawbacks, legal details, and these shooting pains that come from the bottoms of his feet. And Eric Bierbauer will not return his calls. But this infamous spill actually tossed the Anxious Hipster into friendly currents and has made him the stuff of barroom mythology. You know, he said, I was standing in front of that statue the other day, and some guy came up to me and told me the story. Yeah, that's how we do it. Me and Tim Betts. A little bit of words and music. It's no big thing. Happy 420 to my friends. I guess some of you are probably out in your cars.